the sea, the stars, and the wind. He says, "What brings you home then? Family thing? Wedding?" She considers telling him it's a family thing involving a criminal case, if only to get him to stop asking questions. But he's a talker, her cabbie. He may expect her to disclose the whole matter, and besides that, she feels ashamed for being involved in such a case in the first place. "Tell me what I should see. I never did any tourist-type stuff when I was a kid here," she says. She has no interest in being a tourist now, either, but her question gets the driver talking about the best time to see Mount Vernon and the Jefferson Memorial, the museums, the Washington Monument. His conversation carries them over the Maryland state line. "Don't go to the White House. Waste of time. Go to the Capitol. They have a tour. You like animals? We got a nice zoo." He tells her there are neighborhoods she needs to be aware of. He has a handle on the place, he explains. He's an observer. They cross the Potomac, hit some traffic, sit baking at a traffic light. All the while, he's still talking. "But you aren't going to get back into the city so easy if you're staying way the heck out there. What's that address again?" "That's out in the boonies, that is. Why didn't you rent a car?" "I should have," she says. What she is thinking is how all these distances used to look so huge to her, and they don't anymore. Now it all seems so close. Baltimore used to seem so far from D.C., but in California she'd drive that far for a dinner date. They head farther into what used to be the country, the meter clicking away. Potomac, Travilla. He hands her a cold Coke, and this time she takes it, rolling the cool can across her brow before popping the tab open. They arrive at the guest house just as the sunset is blooming, the sky like fire. Behind a fading red and white barn, the wind combs a hayfield, making the grass move in waves. The hugeness of the sun dwarfs the hills and fields and everything around them as she stands in the gold light on the pebble driveway, watching the shadows move. Handing her a suitcase, the driver says, "So you grew up here. What made you want to leave?" She laughs, squinting out into the horizon. A breeze brings the swampy scent of frog spawn. "The answer to that question is exactly what I'm going to explain in court tomorrow," she says. She smiles, then gives the driver some money. "Court? You don't look like the sort of lady that ends up in trouble with the law." "I'm not in trouble with the law," she says. She thinks to herself, however, that she might be in for some kind of trouble. The room is a tidy square around an antique bed. On the table beside the bed are a pewter lamp and a mahogany stand that holds a handwritten menu for the day. For breakfast, she can have colonial-style eggs that come on a slab of brown bread made from a recipe traced back to the days of Jamestown settlers. For supper, she can have peanut soup and shepherd's pie and chilled salad. There is wine and cocktails and various craft beers. It says on the menu that Maryland's state drink is milk. Plain milk, though the inn has a special cocoa they make with this milk. Bobbie finds the innkeeper in the hallway and requests supper in her room. "The pie?" says the innkeeper brightly. Her name is Mrs. Campbell. She wears an apricot dress and a blousey apron and seems far too well turned out to be doing any actual work. But Bobbie can smell cooking downstairs, and the hallway is spotless, with gleaming cherrywood floors and a brass candelabra filled with fat cranberry candles, all with fresh wicks. Every piece of furniture is polished. Even the fronds on the houseplants and the waxy tulips that fill a bowl by the front door are immaculate, shining. She hasn't seen a housekeeper, and she wonders if Mrs. Campbell spends all day cleaning, and how she seems to have the only house in all of rural Maryland without a single housefly. "There's a gazebo out back if you want to have your supper there," Mrs. Campbell says. She has a breathless, nervous way of speaking to Bobbie, the curls on her butter blonde hair rattling with her words. "We can turn on the lights. It's